Hi y'all, welcome back to the channel. I am here today to do a follow-up on the video I did 1 year ago when we bought this tractor, and I'm going to let you know the good, the bad, and the things you really need to know before you buy an LS tractor. And then I'll let you know if I would do it again. Now, I own a tractor like this myself at home. It's an open station tractor, but it's the same size and weight tractor, same lifting capacity, same engine, although this engine is 57 horsepower and mine is 40 horsepower, which now is 42. But it's the same engine, they just do the fuel mapping differently so that you get more horsepower out of the same engine. I'm fine with my 40 horsepower tractor. This 57 horsepower tractor's got all the ponies it needs and does a lot of good hard work for us. So it has been performing really well for us. We have done an awful lot of hard work with it. But I'm going to talk to you about what's gone wrong with this tractor and what it took to get it fixed and what you might expect or have to look out for if you buy one of these tractors. Before I do that, take this minute to go down and click on that like button. Let's just get that out of the way, because you know, I'm watching YouTube videos all the time and I click off of them after really enjoying them, and then I go, oh shoot, I forgot to like that video. Go ahead. I promise you're going to like it. Go ahead and hit that like button. You can subscribe too. So we have used this tractor to do some monstrous jobs. It has 200 and I'm going to say 270 hours. I think it's 268 hours or something like that on it. And, you know, that's a pretty good amount for a year. My tractor at home is 5 years old. It has about 480 hours on it. I have used this one a bit more per year. We have cleaned up the ice storm damage and the downed tree limbs over 120 acres from the ice storm we had here in Central Texas. You might have seen the video where we took 218-ton truckloads of gravel out of the creek and used this tractor to place them higher up on the property in a nice long wedge hillside. And this tractor crawled all over that hillside, had all the muscle that it needed to move all that and smooth all that out. And it was a joy to work with the air conditioning. But let's talk about the air conditioning. Because last summer I was cleaning up the property on the other side of the creek, mowing, and started getting warm. And yeah, it was, you know, close to 100 degrees out, but I'm getting warm in the dang cab. So I stopped and cleaned a little bit of dried grass off the radiator and you know, cleaned it all up so it didn't help. Well, helped a little bit. Still hot in the tractor. So I called John Ryan with RCO Tractors. And he sent someone out and they checked the Freon and it was a little low, they said, and they topped it up. And the air conditioning worked great again. All right, back in business, but that's not a good sign. There's no reason why it should suddenly be low. But it's working for a couple of weeks. It's really strange. And about a month later, I'm back to a hot tractor. So it's got a really slow leak. Dang. So he comes and picks it up, hauls it back to his dealership. This is going to be under warranty. Okay, fine. And he keeps it for about a week and a half, brings it back to me, and says there was a fitting, a quick connect, I think, fitting in the Freon system that had a slow, tiny leak. And they fixed that. It's been working ever since. And then we got a $560 bill for hauling the tractor both ways. So that's a $560 free repair. Great. So we had a few other little problems. When we got the tractor, if you had the tire turned, the wheel turned all the way in either direction, and that wheel was also on some kind of an incline, what would happen is you would get this tire, the knobs on this tire right here, rubbing on this steel frame. Well, that's, you know, like they want to tear those damn knobs right off of the tractor. And if you look here, this is the stop for the steering. This bolt gets adjusted and it hits this steel lug on the axle frame. And the short version is, this was a new steering system for this year model. This is a 22 year model. And this was a new steering system, and they had set the bolt length for the steering stop at the same as in the old one, and that allowed the wheel to turn too far, and that's what was causing that problem. So they adjusted it out. Instead of being about 1 inch out, now it's about 1 3/4 inches or almost 2 inches out, and it's still hitting this steel lug. But in no time at all, the bolt had bent into an S shape. And their solution to that, instead of changing the angle of this lug so that the bolt would hit square to it, the solution that they had was to put a hardened bolt in it. So I think this is a grade 8 bolt. And if you look, you can see the head of that bolt is already starting to bend. Can't be good. And I'm worried about what's going to happen to these threads in here when it's hitting at that weird angle and pushing it sideways every time it hits. We'll see. Could be bad. Might have to tap that out and put a larger bolt in there. I think they should have changed the angle of that, but they didn't. Okay. Now, we kept working. Did some work with the backhoe on the back. I had this tractor a frame for this tractor installed so that I could install my backhoe on the back of it. So we've done some work with the backhoe, cleaning out culverts and digging trenches, and I can't say enough good things about this tractor in regards to working with it. We've got the tilt and turn on it that makes it a dream when you're grading the roads with it. We've got a land plane, we grade the roads with it. We've got a big rototiller, the 5-foot rototiller that we use for the garden that we haul behind this. And that tilt and turn that we added to this tractor just makes it a dream to work with. And I wish I had it on my tractor, but I don't, and I will one of these days. This mechanism that you use to be able to control the 3-point when you're hooking it up from outside the tractor and not having to get into the tractor, and this mechanism right here where it allows you to move this in and out to make that connection. These are all things that, you know, on this ranch there's a more expensive Kubota that doesn't have any of these features. It hasn't had any problems either, but it doesn't have a cab. So there's fewer things that can go wrong with it. This fuel tank being down here, it's great. Being able to put this fuel in here on the Kubota, you're up here putting fuel. The fuel tank is back here and it's up high, and you're holding the 5-gallon jug way overhead. Now, it might be fine if you had a big, you know, 150-gallon diesel tank and you could just put your nozzle in there. But if you're filling the diesel in your tractor with 5-gallon jugs, that's a lot of weight to hold up overhead for a long time while it's going into the tractor. This is a dream. Let the 5-gallon jug sit on the tire and pour it in, and You don't have to even lift it till it's down to a couple of gallons and just never strain yourself at all. Then came the ugly. Now there was a broken hydraulic line that sprayed us, and it shouldn't have happened on a tractor this young. Fitting came off the end of the hydraulic line, but these things happen on hydraulic tractors. But then the bad thing happened. I had a big oil leak underneath the tractor, and that oil leak got worse. And here's what's happened with this series of tractors. It's really bad too, y'all. From the factory, apparently, they have not been torquing and using Loctite on the bolts that hold the back plate onto the back of the engine before the transmission gets bolted on. And it loosens up over time. Tractor's flexing and it loosens up over time, and pretty soon you're dumping oil on the ground. And the only way to fix it is what they did to this tractor. Now this started to happen, and I called John Ryan and got no call back from the dealership. Got no call back from his voicemail, from his cell phone. Come to find out, something happened in his personal life, and that dealership's gone. Well, that leaves me with no dealership anywhere nearby. So I call the next dealership further away, and they say, yeah, we're real busy right now, you know. We've got all of our customers and all of John's customers too. Oh, they came and picked the tractor up, took it and fixed it under warranty. Took them a month to do it. I was grateful they were able to get to it that quickly. And we only paid $780 in hauling fees for that free repair. But I'm confident that's not going to happen again, because they torqued the bolts and used Loctite this time. This is why you have factory warranties, folks. Things like this happen, and you got to get these things dialed out of a new machine sometimes. Not always, but sometimes you just have these things you got to get dialed out of a new machine. And this tractor has a lot of cool things on it, and any one of those things can go bad. You really don't expect for the main seal to start leaking at a year old, but here we are. So we've gotten that fixed. We're back in business now. And would I buy another LS tractor? Well, yeah. We saved about $10,000 on this tractor with the features that it has on it. And we certainly haven't spent anywhere close to that hauling it back and forth to get the warranty items repaired, and they have gotten the warranty items repaired. I can't say that it's as strong as the one I bought 5 years ago in some of its, like this front end loader. I don't think this frame is as strong as the one on my 5-year-old LS tractor. I think it flexes a little bit more. I think this bucket isn't as strong either. You see, we added this edge on here because I could feel it and see it flexing when I would push against something in a way that mine doesn't do. So we added this on to stiffen it, but if you didn't have this dirt in here, I'd be able to show you. It's got a little bit of wave to the bottom of it. And we'll see. It works for us. It's just not as strong as the bucket on my tractor by about that much. And if I had to buy a new bucket, I'd still be thousands of dollars ahead owning this tractor over a John Deere or a Kubota. And if I put all the features that are on this tractor on a John Deere or a Kubota, man, that would be expensive. Did you like the video? Well, hit that button. We have added a few things. We added lights up here, changed the ones that were out, that were up there out for LED. Added, these fixtures are for the little flashing lights, and that you can put on these tractors. We put more LED lights on so we can really light the whole area up. We put lights here on the back that we've got 3 sets of lights on this tractor now. Well, 4 if you count the little wimpy headlights that come on the tractor. But we got 3 sets of lights, and if you're out there at night with this thing, you are lighting up the night with these lights. Highly recommend it. These things didn't cost but like 18 bucks a piece. It costs a lot more for me to put them on than it costs to buy them, and they really work. Save you tons of time if you're ever caught trying to finish up after dark. Well, that's it, y'all. Yes, I would buy another LS tractor. I would recommend an LS tractor to my friends, and I would give them all the warnings I just gave you. And since I made that video about a year ago about this tractor and have had some problems, I decided to make this video to let you know where we're at now. I couldn't just give you a video saying the tractor was leaking. They delivered it yesterday after having repaired it. So now I've got the whole story and what it costs and how it worked out. And there you go. Y'all have a good day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.